So here we're going to start with the Kylo site. This one will actually give me a lot of support, able to transform either text or images into high quality videos. And for us, we're going to use it. In fact, in a way, it's this API here, which is a proven tool today, capable of transforming an image into a video. There you have it, in a very, very simple way, and above all, at a very low cost, so really. It's an ideal tool today for turning our images into photos. So I simply use this tool here, and I'm just going to ask it to create for me. In fact, a video that follows, remember the scenario provided by the user. This is the scenario that we sent to our platform because we shared the image, of course. I can also work on the image resolution, on the duration of the video. For example, here it's 5, but I can increase it to 10 seconds or more. So all this information, even the video's aspect ratio, the video's dimensions, all of this I can really change, update, and work on. So it's up to you, of course, to choose how you want to work with your information. So once this parameter is set, all that's left to do is to execute this node. This is a node that will ask the artificial intelligence to process this video for us and create it. I'm executing this node. So now, of course, it's going to generate this video. The status is success. Now I can really come here and check our back office. And we can simply select here, so it's dense, to be able to see what we call the STURIC. And so in the log here, we'll see that the system is going to create it for us. Actually, the video here is in progress, so it's still being made. That's why it takes a bit of time to process and create this image. So in the meantime, what do I do while this image is being created? Here I'm actually going to try to add, of course, a wait for the rendering. So here it's a delay. I usually set it to 20 seconds to wait for the system to finish the rendering before I can actually download it. So as a result, I run this node here. We're going to execute it. There's the possibility to add what's called a loop, as I've done here. In any case, we'll see that later, right? I'm trying to create a loop where we'll check if the video has been processed or not. If it hasn't been processed, it will go back to wait again. But anyway, I mainly do this to preview the video and the music. But to create the video, generally, 20 seconds for 8 seconds of production is more than enough when the video is short. So I can check. And for you, of course, you can increase this number of attempts so you let the video run properly. Here, we're going to try refreshing our page to see if the video has just finished. So I click here to download it. The goal is to get the link to this video. I'm going to open it and we'll take a look together. Here's the URL of this video. That's its URL. Let's try playing it and see the quality of the result. So we've just downloaded it, as you can see. I requested that it be done in vertical mode, and also, actually, I asked for 8 seconds. Let's click on play. And there you go. It's very beautiful. The lighting, the work, I really like it. This is my watch that has just been created. So, once that's done, of course, I added a little code here just to say thank you. It retrieves the URL because the URL here, look, it comes along with our code, so you can see it there. Here's the result and everything. It's right here. I made a little function for that. A very simple regular expression, actually. This one will actually allow me to extract just the URL, and that URL will be stored in this variable, the video URL. So now I have my video ready. The goal now is to try to move on to the next step. Now, we're going to work on the background music. This music is the one I'm going to use to combine with the video and the nice music. So for generating the sound, actually we're going to work with Sino. So Sino is really powerful for working with anything audio related. So it's really capable of creating truly high resolution video quality. You just have to give it the subject and it can actually handle that for us. So now I'm asking it to generate the video with a very specific request. So now it's going to send the request. As for the time here, generally you can also set it to 20 seconds. There you go. So now I'm running it. So now the system here is going to wait for my audio to be generated. Of course, we're going to check the log. Take a look at how the result is going to turn out. So here you see it's running. So it's actually creating the specific music for my request. And of course, you know that music actually has an influence. the user's purchasing behavior, so once the extensive work is completely done, you'll clearly see that I can simply and easily download this particular music and then obtain its unique URL. So let's thoroughly check. It should already have a definitive status, and we should certainly find it as fully completed. Look here, and if it's still in running mode, and I see that here, the 20 seconds, actually they've been processed. So it would be very interesting to increase that. So you raise it to 40 seconds like this, and you'll find exactly the right combination. How long does it take to create the music? So we only do this once when we're testing between workflows. But once that's done, we just launch the workflow with the exact information, of course, because don't forget, at the end of this whole workflow, we're simply going to activate it here so it can run continuously without being stopped. And that's the strength. In fact, that's the strength of our tools. It's the strength of the system that will work on its own and carry out the next step, which is downloading. So we're going to check here to see it should be processed. So let's look at the status. So here, for this name, it's still running, but that's okay. So we'll just let it finish and keep increasing. So really, we needed to think about increasing that. So here, we're going to set it to 2 minutes so it can process this image. We're going to run it. I'll pause while it finishes. Once it's done, of course, I can download my music. And there you go, the music has just been created. So now here I have my music. Of course, I can listen to it if I want. And what's really interesting here is simply moving on to the next step, which is very important to me, downloading this music. So now we're going to run it. So the file will be downloaded. And of course, we actually need to clean up the result. So as a result, we run this regular expression. As you can see, it will give me the URL of the music. Now, I have the video, I have the music. What's left to do is that now I actually need to play the music. And for that, we're also going to use another tool. In fact, a very interesting tool still with fall, because here on fall, in fact, there's the possibility of using an API that's actually capable of handling the merging for me between the image and, well, rather between the audio and the video. So this is called Merge Audio Video. It's an API that's really interesting. So here we're going to try to find it. So you just need to type in merge and the system. It will search a bit for me here. So now we're going to search for merge, and there it is. This is the API, the Merge Audio Video. There you go, that's the one. It's an API. It's very simple. You provide the audio, you provide the video, and it gives you the result. So we're going to try to use it together. Actually, this step simply allows, let me explain, merging. Of course, there's a waiting time. After the waiting time, we'll check the status, whether it's done or not. If it's done, well, I continue. If it's not done, I go back and wait again. So that's a little loop I made. You can also use the same thing when creating the audio and the video. If you want, there you go. It can also improve the workflow to make it more secure. But for me, I know that here, for a 5-second video, we set a 20-second wait. Here we set 2 minutes, which is more than enough to process them. But merging the audio and video takes a little bit of time. So that's why we have this loop that checks. Next here we check the status. After that we can download the video and even save this video directly to Google Drive. So as a result, we're going to run this node together. So now I'm going to run this step here, this whole stage. We're going to ask it to go up to this node. I'm actually interested to see how the loop will keep running here until the video is finished. So now I'm running it. You'll see that it's going to start from here. So here it simply sent the request for it to be processed. I see that it went through since the starter switched to completed mode. So now I'm going to watch the video with you. Let's take a look here. This is the video we need. So we can click on view. There you go. The video has just been downloaded with the music included. So it's even saved here on my Google Drive. So at the end, I move on to the last step, which is the step to save and publish this video on my social networks. So before anything else, I go to read what's called my brand settings. My brand settings are on my Google Sheets file. That's where I'll put all the information related to this product. The system will retrieve them because thanks to that, it will try to draft something for me. a text that will accompany this video so that it can be sponsored, so it serves as a sponsored ad. Here is my Google ADS Sheets file. Here I have all the information, as you can see, regarding the product name, the category, the offer I'm proposing, the features, and the website. You'll see that all this information will, of course, be retrieved from this file. Now I'm running it. It actually retrieves the information from this sheet because it's a sheet that was created here just to collect, in fact, the information. Then, of course, we'll move on to the video part. Here, this is another channel where I'm actually going to put the information related to all the videos I've created and all the links I've been able to generate. So now I'm starting to run this second node here. So this is a node which will distribute the different pieces of information. So retrieve from my Google Sheets file. And now it's simply a matter of asking the artificial intelligence to create for me, thanks to a print here that was made specifically so it can generate a text with a call to action for me to use. There you go, to paste it along with my video to actually convince people to buy. So here the text generation has just been done correctly. Once the text is done, I launch what we call the recording of all the data I have in this file, Google Sheets. So here, the image URL, the video URL, the final video URL, because here I have the video URL without the music, and here it's with the music. Here, that's the ad, and here it's to indicate the status that the video has been created. So I'm waiting for the publication. So there you go, now we're going to refresh. Actually, the creation of the row is done on my Google Sheet file, so it's right here. We should have this new row that will be added. So if I come back here, the creation has just been done. So I open here, open, and there you go. It has been added. In fact, here is this information. So of this image ID, which is simply the very last row that was added. It's this one, actually. It's this row that has just been added. So we're going to keep the row as a record. Now the status. We'll actually need to move on to publishing. So that's why I set up notifications here, so I can simply receive information on Telegram to make sure that, the information has been processed correctly. So here is the information sent on Telegram. So here I have the URL of this video on Telegram. And of course here I have the video. Well, with the video here, you had to be careful. Sending the video, it has to be done on the same Telegram. So I'm running it a second time, so that it gets sent here. Still on the same Telegram, the same channel, so that the information is sent to the right channel. So all that's left to do now is to work on a very important part, which is publishing on the different social networks. Still using my upload node, so post here, I've selected 3 networks, but I can select others. Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So, of course, you'll see that here for Facebook, the system will ask me to enter the ID of the page where I want to make the post. And here it asks me, okay, what is it? The description of the video. So here, the description of the video, remember we created a description from there. So I can retrieve it here. So this will be the description of the video. And here, the status, so if I want it to be published or as a draft or scheduled. Because if I choose scheduled, I can set a date for the publication. Now, these are the details for TikTok, for example, here for TikTok. I tell it, listen, I want this to be public for everyone, and there you go. It actually gives me information to send to TikTok if I want to disable comments or disable sharing. Here, for YouTube, I send it the content of the YouTube video to share. If I want to add tags as well, that's possible. I can even ask this AI to share or to create tags. And here, of course, it automatically detects the category ID of my YouTube channel since I connected it to my system here. So it will know the TikTok channel with which, actually the YouTube channel with which it was connected. And so the system here, if I scroll down a bit more, the YouTube license, it asks me questions about that. It asks me if it is, whether the video is actually intended for YouTube for kids. So here I have, let's say, all the information I need to make my posts. So all this data, all this information will be sent directly to these 3 platforms. Now, another very important piece of information regarding your Facebook channel ID, how to actually find your channel's ID. I come here to my dashboard and you can see here, there's Facebook. So it has detected the different pages I have. Now look here, I'm going to click here and there you go. I have my channel's ID. So I just copy this code and simply I'm going to paste it here into the system. There you go. That's the ID of my Facebook page. Because as you know, a Facebook account can have several pages. So as a result, you need to select which of the pages belongs to this user. Remember, we're still with our user. So the user here is Dr. Ferris. But for you, for each user, you can set up a Facebook page. So normally I have all the information that was entered here with the basic, let's say, necessary parameters. All that's left to do now is to run this to see if the video will be shared on those social networks. We're just going to update the title information again because the title can be important. Especially on YouTube, we'll need to display the video title. So here, we're going to use this title. But of course, you can also ask, as we did here, for an agent or even OpenAI here to create a specific title for your video. So that's possible to further improve the quality. But for now, I'm just going to use this title for myself. So if it ever can't point here, I just need to come here and change the word item to force it to be the first item. So here we're going to set it to first, as you can see. So this function here will work. It always needs to be green, so you can look right here at the bottom. What is the content that was just retrieved? So the dog cap, So we'll take the dog cap that we created here. So it's always the same information that's going to be sent. There you go. And then what else will we need? The URL, of course. So the video URL, remember when we downloaded it, here's the latest version. It's this one. So it's this URL that we're going to use. I'm checking it, it's correct. So I'll put this URL here. And here I'll put first, the same thing. So I delete this, I'll put first. That's the function. There you go. That will force it. So now I have the video here. And if I want, I can also retrieve the video from Google Drive, because here on Google Drive we have what's called the web and view link. So I can also easily use the video footage from there if I truly want to. So here I can simply delete this existing video and then take that specific video and carefully put it right here as well. The item here, I change it with the first function. So if it's possible, of course, on the Google Drive folder, make sure that the Google Drive file is shared, is public and not private. That way we can retrieve the information inside. I can also, for example, on YouTube set it to private. That way it will only be displayed as private. Alright, so now we're going to activate our node and simply run it here. Right now it's processing the execution of this node. So I'll let it run for a bit. Of course, I can open this up and look at the information. So it's currently taking the video and sending it here. Actually, I prefer to set the Google Drive URL to the can-nantes link mode. That's all it is. It's the part that allows for direct downloading of the video, so we simplify instead of using web view link. So I set it to webcam nantes link. So which one is it going to be? So at this very moment, it is currently running, which means it is already in the process of uploading the video content to its dedicated server. Once the video file has been successfully transferred and is securely residing on the server, it will then commence establishing vital connections with various prominent social media platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Now we're waiting for it to execute. It gave me a result. True. That means the information has just been sent. Here. The message and the request. It told me that it was sent to 3 platforms using our system. Alright, let's check and see the result directly on the 3 platforms. So here on Upload Post, we have the option to check to see if this information has actually been published or not. So you just need to go into our back office, and inside the back office, we're going to go to the history section. So the history can be found here in history under the profile. We need to enter here. You'll see that here, right here, I already find both of them. The post I made with the photo, so this one here, it was published just a moment ago, and here I can simply see it. In fact, the post on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And each of these posts, of course, will respect the visibility settings, whether it's public or scheduled. So this really helps me see if the system has actually published it exactly where I wanted it to be published. Look, here it appears in Shorts. I can see it with the option to view whether it's private or public, so across all the networks, especially imagine if you have 9 networks to manage. At the same time, so having a system that publishes simultaneously on all networks is a huge advantage. So if I come back here, I would need to move on to another step, which is the step where I update the system simply by setting the status to publish. So here, I would like to tell the system that I want you to set the status to published. That simply helps me keep track afterwards. To properly track, in fact, the sending of information to my Google Sheets file. Thanks to this, I have saved all the data, all the information. And above all, I was able to update my file with the information I want to keep. Of course, remember to set up a notification on Telegram. So right here, I will just go to my Telegram application and simply send you a quick little message to let you know. The system has successfully published, so it is always very, very useful to set up a clear and concise notification system so that I can consistently stay connected with my ongoing workflow and all its important updates, especially when I finish. Actually, don't forget that I'm going to activate the workflow here. Once the workflow is set up. Here, it's active. No need to click every time. Actually, on Run Workflow. Why? Because everything is automated, it will work independently and will create the image, publish the image, create the video, and add music. And then it will generate my final video with publication on the social networks I have selected.